Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to our show titled Speak of Africa. It's a new week, and we're very happy to bring you a new show. As usual, we have a whole lot of news for you. But before we begin with the news, we want to say thank you to all our viewers. If you are viewing this show for the first time, my name is Prince Ojong. I'm your humble host. And if you are subscribing to the show for the first time, we appreciate your support and loyalty. We need more viewers. We are getting more viewers, but we think we really need more subscribers. When you subscribe, you get the show every time we upload a new video. We started this show because we wanted African people to have a voice. We have a whole lot of news that is happening, and the Western press chooses not to report this news because it's not in their interest. Much of what is happening in Africa is the fault of the West. They corrupt our leaders. The corrupt leaders deal with them. So they don't really want to point a finger at their partners, which is what is really happening in the motherland. But we started this show because we cannot be bought. Like we've said it a lot of times, nobody can buy us. If you have news that you want to tell, we're here to tell your story. We've been doing this faithfully for so many years. Some of you are beginning to recognize our hard work, and we appreciate it. This show is not just a news analysis show. We look at the news, we look at what has happened in the motherland, then we try to put this news in context. We give you the news behind the news. In addition, we don't want you to just be a passive listener or someone who just watches quietly. We want you to take action after you watch our show. At the end, we come with some solutions. We don't only discuss problems, we discuss strategies that can be used to alleviate some of these calamities. For today, we're going to have on the same theme. We always say the problem of Africa is because of Africa's triple heritage, according to my former professor, Ali Masri. He wrote this book, The Africans, and did a TV series that was very popular. He explained that the problem of Africa is because of Africa's triple heritage. Africa inherited its traditional culture and civilization. Then, of course, you have the Christian civilization. In addition, you have the Islamic civilization. So these three civilizations work themselves out to form the reality of Africa that we experience today. During colonial times, we had a lot of issues. We wanted the colonial master to leave. Little did we know that the colonial master never wanted to leave. They simply left by the back door and came again. Some people will say, no, they left by the front door, then they came back using the back door. So they are still there. They are still there creating problems for Africa. That's the calamity. We have a system that they created, colonial capitalism. This is a strange type of capitalism. In the past, I've told you that my former professor used to define, when I was in grad school, my professor said capitalism is a system of private enterprise that believes in the utilization of the factors of production to produce an unlimited amount of profit. True, but capitalism in Africa is capitalism with a difference. Instead of just producing profits, the profits are siphoned from Africa. These profits are not intended for Africa. Because of the imperialist structure, the profit is supposed to be taken from the African plantation to feed the masters in the West. And that's the problem. So when the masters eat all the food, the servants are left only with crumbs. The master is the former colonial master. For example, France. When you hear Africans getting angry, talking about anti-French feeling in much of Africa today, that's what we're talking about. France eats all the big stuff. France is Mr. Big Stuff. They eat everything. Then the poor Africans are left with nothing. So they are hungry. And that's why there are problems in much of Africa as we see today. Starting with the case of Ambazonia. Ambazonia has declared their independence again. Why? Because the people are angry with marginalization in La République du Cameroon. We've talked about this history so many times, but what is really happening? Well, this week in Amazonia, we are only seeing some of the aftermath. Some people had lied to you by saying that, oh, they've arrested Chayabo, they've arrested Sissoko Ayoktabe, so the struggle is over. Well, we always told you those are all lies and propaganda. Acquire. What happened in Acquire? We have a lot of pictures, but we don't want to show them on this channel. La République du Cameroon has now decided not to be showing incidents. Whenever their soldiers are killed in Amazonia, they don't want to show this information anymore because they don't want to demoralize their soldiers. But in Acquire, so many soldiers of La République were killed. So many. So, Mr. Biya, as we ring in the new year, can you see what is happening? Well, Mr. Biya is too old. He does not even know what is happening in Amazonia. He says he knows, but this guy is over 92 years old. He's old. What I've been saying on this show for so many years, the bishops of the Catholic Church are now taking my message. They are using my words and saying that to the general public. I've been saying for over 3 years that Paul Biya is old, he cannot lead Cameroon, and some people just think I was just saying it. Today, the bishops, starting with the bishop of Yagua, Douala, Ngaoundéré, they are all saying what I've been saying for a long time. They are telling Mr. Biya, please do not be a candidate for the election of 2025. That will be unrealistic. You are too old, you are sick, you are feeble, so you cannot really run the country. You cannot really solve the problem of this country. The bishops had their plenary session on the 10th and 11th of January. They were meeting in Biya. Biya is my town. I went to school in Biya. I went to St. Joseph's College, Sase, and also went to Lycée Moliko. So I know that area very, very well. So the bishops were enjoying their jubilee, but they have a message which they're going to tell Mr. Biya again. Mr. Biya doesn't want to listen. Most of his hangers-on are telling him not to listen. He is saying he has the energy to run the country again. When you listen to his end of the year speech, it sounded like Mr. Biya was an opposition candidate running for office for the first time. After over 42 years, you've not been able to do anything. So you're going to do anything only in a few months? This is a joke. In 82, Paul Biya took over leadership in Cameroon. I had just obtained my first degree from the University of Yaoundé. In fact, my first job was what he called recrutement spécial. I was sent to Mindif to work in the north of Cameroon. I'm retiring now. Paul Biya doesn't want to retire as president. Come on, Mr. Biya, you like to exaggerate things. Too legit to quit, right? Now, the Pope is telling you, quit. If you don't quit, your body will be dragged on the streets of Yaoundé. And that's what's going to happen. We can predict this. Biya doesn't want to quit. He's thinking the military is going to protect him. But the military is going to be divided. We can already foresee the future. October 2025, things are going to be rough. There are going to be a lot of killings. That's what we can predict. Biya will struggle to stay in power the way he changed the constitution and ran again. But this time, it's going to be his undoing. We're just sorry that his body is going to be dragged in the streets. Because a lot of the people, even the Beti people, they want to take over power in that country. They want Biya to go. In the past, the Beti people were with Biya. So that's something Biya should understand. Those who are advising him to hang on should really look at the tea leaves. In the past, the Esingan were behind Mr. Biya. Today, they are not. They want Biya to leave because they themselves are ashamed. Biya has become a laughing stock all over the world. Meetings, he collapses all the time. He's incoherent. Come on, it's always good to know when to quit. It will be Maurice Kamto. All those tactics are not working. By attacking Alice Nkom, these guys are making a big mistake. Amnesty International, then the gay lobby is very big. That's something that the Cameroon government does not understand, because this government is very anachronistic. They don't even know the forces that they are dealing with. They are unleashing some powerful forces that are going to push Biya into the street. Okay? He's going to die in disgrace. That's what we can already foresee. Poor Biya is going to die in disgrace. That's what we can see. We can see the future. They were going to drag his body in the street, just like Shishisku in some of these Eastern European countries. He's going to be dragged in the street because he doesn't want to leave. So they will have to drag him out. That's what will happen. And you can see the bishops are telling him, leave, leave, leave. Is he listening? He's not listening. But that's what is going to happen. They will drag his body in the street. That's the final message. And Barcelona is winning their war. People are telling you, oh, it's over. It's not over. The guys are just taking their time. Then they will just choose the best time to attack Biya's forces. And Acquire is a big time story. I'm not going to show the videos on Acquire, but if you Google or go on WhatsApp, you see the videos are really terrible. Or if you want, call me, contact me on WhatsApp. I'll send you the videos privately. When you see the videos, even the families of these soldiers, when they see the videos, and we're telling you, if you are in the army, if you are not resigning, then you don't care about your life. If you don't care about your life, then you can choose to die. So you are on a suicide mission. Okay? Because over 200 soldiers of Biya's tribe died in Acquire. That's information nobody wants you to know. Over 200 soldiers died in Acquire. It's really sad. Sad. Okay? Next, we'll take you to Burkina Faso. In Burkina Faso, the children of Thomas Sankara have grown up. When he was killed, the children could not do anything because they were children. But now they've grown up. They overthrew Blaise Compaoré in 2014. As if that was not enough, the revolution is continuing. Today we have Ibrahim Traoré. Ibrahim Traoré stole the show in Ghana, because we're going to talk about Ghana soon. Because Ghana just had a new president. We don't want to talk about Ghana, but we want to focus on Ibrahim Traoré. He came forward, he greeted the First Lady of Ghana. Before that, he removed his cap, military cap, then greeted the First Lady. He stole the show. At first, he told them he was not going to attend the inaugural of John Mahama. When he appeared, he took everybody by surprise. The public was jubilating. Why? For the first time, they are seeing the reincarnation of Thomas Sankara. The resemblance is there. All of them were captains. And the young man has done a lot of things during the short time he took over since September 2022 to really change what is happening in the country. He's been very, very active. He has been doing a lot. So it's like people always see him only in military fatigues. The guy has been working hard to turn things around. It's true, the people in Burkina Faso also want a return to democracy. But what good is a return to democracy if you cannot eat, if you don't have water? If the jihadists are still there, we should hold these jihadists at bay. So we need to really give some support to Ibrahim Traoré. We don't like coup d'etats, but it looks like the young man is working hard for his country. We understand he has paid a lot of the debts of that country, so that's a salutary move. By contrast, look at Ghana. John Mahama Dramani is coming in with an economy that is in shambles. The Ghanaian economy is in shambles. IMF is still there knocking. If IMF is telling them, we need these debts to be repaid. How are they going to repay these debts? It's very, very tough because the economy is in shambles. So that's the first crisis that John Mahama is going to deal with. So the honeymoon he's experiencing is going to be very, very short-lived. He's not going to enjoy this honeymoon for a long time. Is he going to do a miracle? Well, we think the only good move we see that John Mahama has done since he came is he invited Ibrahim Traoré back to the fold. That's good. But is he going to learn from Ibrahim Traoré to try to go after self-reliance, self-reliant development? Ghana has a lot of minerals. They have gold. They have coffee, and other stuff. Can they manage this stuff properly? Can they avoid corruption? That's the question. Ghana needs to focus on some of this stuff. We like what we see. John Mahama was elected based on the message of change. I'm going to reform the economy. Things are going to be better. So we are hoping, the people are hoping that Ghana will turn a new page.
Welcome to Ayuk Tax Service. We are tax professionals at your service. Our services include tax returns, payroll, bookkeeping, business planning. We provide professional service, years of experience, and are proud to serve your business. Get your maximum tax refund with 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. We are located at 11207A Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Contact us at 240-350-1131. Fax 240-556-0535 or email service@ayuktaxservice.com. Our hours of operation are weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and weekends 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. For more information, please visit us online at www.ayuktaxservice.com.
Sadly, we take it to Congo DRC. Congo DRC has our favorite guy, Felix Tshisekedi. This guy became president by accident. Joseph Kabila handpicked him over the guy who actually won the election, Martin Fayulu. Joseph Kabila was thinking that by bringing this puppet, he'll be able to run the country using the puppet as a marionette. Okay? Joseph Kabila had the majority in parliament, so he thought that alone guaranteed his power in Congolese politics. We even told you that that's not going to work, because we saw what happened between Paul Biya and Amadou Ahidjo. Amadou Ahidjo decided to resign. Then he brought Paul Biya as a dumb guy who will be his boy. Immediately Paul Biya got to Cameroon and started running the country. His tribesmen told him, either you are president or you are not. If you are president, you don't have to be taking dictates from Ahidjo. Ahidjo should not be telling you what to do. You are president, so you decide what you want to do with the country. You decide who to nominate as a minister. You should not be waiting for Ahidjo to tell you, give you orders. Stop taking orders from Ahidjo. And we're here to support you in our Esingan. Biya listened to that message up to today, and that's why the country has really gone the wrong way. That Ahidjo died of heartbreak. He was thinking he found a boy, a houseboy who would do his bidding. No, but Biya refused to do his bidding anymore. And that's what has happened. So the same thing is happening now in Congo DRC. Joseph Kabila has found out that he made a big mistake. Felix Tshisekedi doesn't want to leave. He even wants to change the constitution so that he can run for more terms. The people are opposed to it, but it's adamant he wants to run and keep himself in the presidency. Our worry is not just the fact that he's going to stay in the presidency. We know there was a bishop who made a speech in a church. From the pulpit, he was saying, you have to know when it's time to go. So the same message we are giving to Paul Biya, we are giving the message to Felix Tshisekedi. It's time for you to go. You've come, you are not really doing much for your people. Okay? You said, I'm going to declare war against Paul Kagame and I'm going to solve the problem in the east of the country. Have you done that? No. Can you do that? No. So it's time for you to go. Okay? Felix Tshisekedi, it's time for you to go. And that's not the only reason. The second reason we think it's time for Felix Tshisekedi to go is because he's breaking the law of God. Felix Tshisekedi claims to be a very pious Christian. But we're bringing you stories. Amnesty International has shared a lot of information with us. Felix Tshisekedi has moved a lot of people, prisoners, from the Kinshasa area into remote areas so that over 170 prisoners are going to be executed by firing squad secretly. International organizations are warning him not to go ahead with those Machiavellian plans. But this is a guy who jumps into every church to make people see him as a man of God. If you are a man of God, don't you know the 10 commandments? Even if you don't know the 10 commandments, what about the commandment that says, thou shalt not kill? Felicia Sekedi, you don't know this commandment? Then go and pick up your Bible. Pick up your Bible and read. You'll see the commandment that says, thou shalt not kill. There are only 10. So if you don't even know this one, I don't want to name the other commandments. Okay? So it is really sad that you are a man of God and you don't know about the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not kill. So do not kill these people you call bandits. If bandits can have employment, the young people, look at what is happening in other countries. They are providing employment for young people. Whenever there is crime, it's because these people don't have anything good to do. They resort to crime. So it's not really a choice. They are forced, conditions force them into crime. So when I look at the problem with bandits, it's a social problem. Create an economy. Create what I call compassionate capitalism. Create jobs. These young people will start working, then they will not be going around and stealing. That's how you solve that problem. But do not execute them. By executing them, you're not solving the problem. Okay? So if nobody is telling you, we're telling you on this show, you are not solving the problem. And of course, the same issue we see in Mozambique. The opposition leader has come back. A few months after the election, he left the country. But since the Frelimo candidate is going to be sworn in the next few days, he came in to challenge. And things are turned. So many people have been killed in Mozambique. Things are really sad. So many people have been killed in Mozambique. Is that going to change? We don't know. What about Chad? The tension also is rife in Chad. Okay? Because the people stormed the presidential palace. Over 19 people were killed. What happened? Was it a coup d'etat? Or was it a few drunk soldiers just playing games? It's everything. Whenever there's instability, it's because there's no rule of law. The rule of law needs to return to Africa. If we want peace and stability to reign in Africa, we must respect the rule of law. We must respect justice. In the Republic, Plato, one of my favorite philosophers, had this book where he talked about the Socratic dialogues, okay? Where he talks about justice. Every state, you have rulers, you have workers, and you have soldiers. Everybody plays their part. But we must make sure that there is justice. Justice must be blind. It must apply to everybody. It should not be that like in the case of Cameroon. Okay, Brenda Biya can be a lesbian, do nonsense stuff, but other people cannot be lesbians. Mr. Biya, the LGBTQ community is coming after you. So be ready. They're coming after you really hard. You'll be surprised. They're coming after you.
Tired of waiting in long lines at the emergency room or your doctor's office? You should be. Why wait in long lines for care? It's time for you to come to Lucille Urgent Care. Real care, no waiting. Lucille Urgent Care, the best place for true and loving care. Service at Lucille Urgent Care is convenient, fast, time efficient, affordable, accessible, transparent, and cost effective. Royal treatment is your right. Indeed, it's not just a privilege or pejorative. Skip the emergency room's long lines, kiss the ER goodbye, say farewell to your old doctor's office, pay less, save time, enjoy the excitement of convenience, receive immediate treatment, get the healthcare you need quickly and affordably. Lucille Urgent Care offers many express services: rapid COVID-19 testing, on-site prescription, preventative lab services, imaging and x-rays, urgent medical treatment for common illnesses and injuries, routine vaccines and flu shots, work-related injury services, pre-employment, occupational, annual, and sports physicals, immigration exams, and much more. Same-day treatment, rapid lab results, extended hours, weekend hours, no appointment necessary, no insurance necessary, no doctor necessary, walk-ins accepted, telemedicine available. We are open 7 days a week with evening and weekend hours. We are located in Maryland, Lucille Urgent Care, 903 Half York Road, Towson, Maryland, 21204. Website, lucilleuc.com. Call at 443-275-1286 or 301-593-4897.
Then what about Haiti? Haiti basically is like the first African republic. It may be in the Western Hemisphere, but that's the first time that black people revolted against colonial rule. And they succeeded. They revolted against France. So you see, France has been creating problems everywhere for black people. The Haitians rebelled against France, and since then, they inspired other revolutions in Africa. Today, Kenya has really sent troops to Haiti because Haiti has been having a very serious gang problem. You find people killed every day. After the earthquake, you thought that was a lot? No, that was just the beginning of Asia's problem. Now there's complete meltdown. Law and order doesn't exist in Haiti anymore. In 2024, Haiti has had more than 4 governments, and all of them have collapsed. So now what is happening? It looks like the Kenyan mission is failing. We suspected that this mission is going to fail because it was not well thought out. To solve the problem in Haiti, we need to sit down and look at what are the causes. What are the immediate causes? What are the remote causes? Okay? When you look at it, the key factor fueling the conflict in Haiti is drugs, drugs, drugs. So long as people are making money from drugs, this was going to be a point of contention in the country. So long as there's demand for drugs in the United States of America, and Haiti is a good point where they ship those things to the America, Dominican Republic, it's going to be a problem. So that's exactly what we're saying. So justice has to return. So to solve the problem in Haiti, just like in Africa, we need to have a system of justice, okay? Where we have to respect the rule of law. If there's no rule of law, then forget it. And lastly, we come to Nigeria. The message is clear. In Nigeria, we still have a lot of insecurity. Bola Tinubu is flying to one conference after another, locking all the miles, frequent traveler miles, but the country is burning. Does he care? We think he doesn't really care. He just wants to be president because he doesn't have any real program for the country. Insecurity. Katsina State. Some of the people from the government militants who were returning from a funeral, we hear over 19 of them were ambushed and killed. Where's security, Mr. Bola Tinubu? You promised security for your people many, many months ago. Now, where's the security? There's no security. Yet, you're spending almost 3 million to pay to burnish your image with Americans. You want American lawmakers to think that you're a nice guy. People are suffering. They don't have water to drink. They don't have food. Yet, you're spending a lot of money on expensive trips abroad. What are these trips doing for the average Nigerian? Nothing. They are just pleasing you, Mr. Bola Tinubu. The average Nigerian is not benefiting from these trips. So the trips are useless. You are wasting the money of taxpayers. Omoyele Sowore has also criticized you this week. We saw what he wrote on the internet about your trips and your APC cronies. These guys are not even telling you to stop doing the wrong thing. You're wasting money that should have been used to help alleviate poverty in the country. You're wasting this money on fellow politicians. So this is not good. And we say, this is why there are problems in Africa. There's no democracy, so we'll continue to have problems in Africa. When people come to power, they do just what they want. They connive with the colonial master and do their own thing. So we need a change, the way we're seeing things now in Burkina Faso. Change has to come. A lot of young people in Africa are trying to bring change. And we're saying, change, change, change. But we're going to end our show of today by telling you the way we're encouraging our people. we don't only share news with you, we also share ways that you can help yourself personally. For example, you try to get into business. I, for one, I've been doing a lot of businesses. I've been sharing this with you. We've talked about tax businesses, healthcare businesses, and e-commerce. Then, of course, we have a young man too who has been helping us with our project, this Speak of Africa project. Probably without him, we would not have been able to get this project on the ground. His name is Tayo Tikare. I'm going to ask him, he's a very shy person, but I'm going to ask him to share his number with you. He's been producing the show for us for over 3 years now, and I'm sure you guys have been seeing the show, you like it. That's his handiwork. So we encourage you, if you really want to produce anything, to use Mr. Tayo Tikare. He can help you. He has a lot of experience. Before Mr. Tayo came to America, he had worked in Nigeria in the video area, so he's very, very good. He knows about movies and a lot of stuff dealing with the media. So I would strongly recommend him to you guys. As I say, my days are numbered. I don't know how many more days God is going to give me on this earth, but I'm going to spend the rest of my days trying to encourage young people to do stuff. That's my message. So they say charity begins at home. I'm encouraging you to also give your attention to Mr. Tayo. I'm going to share his number. His phone number, he will add it now on the show so that you can call him and you talk to him. He can help you if you want to produce any show or if you have any project that you want to do. I think this is a good advertisement which is well thought about, because I think he's been doing this for us without asking for anything, and I think you guys should really patronize him. Thank you very much.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.